Yes, only 300 kilometres north of Perth. Cliff Head, quite a nice overnight stay. And then the next morning, pack up and head off to Wooramel, where you can camp right by the river. Pretty awesome, eh? It's 420 kilometres further north than Cliff Head. And the number 2 thing to do in Wooramel is to go and inspect all the cars and caravans that didn't quite make it to their destination. Quite an interesting lot here. But the number 1 thing to do is to bathe in this magic water that makes you look 50 years younger. And the next day, pack up again and head off to the sardine factory. Yes, Coral Bay, where everyone is packed in, just like sardines. Quite a nice place to stay for a few weeks anyway. Really enjoyed this. Lots of snorkeling. One of the nice things to do in Coral Bay is to head off only a few kilometres south to Five Fingers Reef. So the girls did the driving to Five Fingers Reef. The sand is quite soft, so you have to have a nice easy foot on that throttle to get there. Once you get a bounce up though, it doesn't stop bouncing. Luckily we tied that canoe on. Looking at this, I always wonder there should be a way to get the bounce out of the vehicle somehow, and using the accelerator or the brake, can't just spread the sand back into the hollows.
Not as busy, no.
No, because it's shit.
Oh, weird. There's a guy fishing and snorkeling.
I researched the nudibranch egg mass. It is literally an egg mass. That is all eggs.
All the red is
eggs. And all the nudibranches kind of lay like that.
So this year, because of the storms, there's a lot of weed around, which surprised us all. The water's perfectly clear still. So this must have been washed up in the storms, I'm taking it. Notice how busy it gets here. A very, very popular place in Coral Bay. One of the nice places you can drive to. Get out in a canoe, do a bit of paddling. Always surprises me just how noisy it is underwater. These little fish and whatever's bouncing on the reef certainly makes a noise. It's always good to get down to Bills Bay each afternoon and check out the sunset, have a drink. Prior to going back to the team, have a bit of a team meeting to plan the next day.
He would have gone through the water. Yeah, we thought it was hilarious.
And of course each night have a beautiful feed of fresh fish. When you're snorkeling, it's really good to really annoy these little fellas here, especially the ones with blue dots on them. I love stirring them up. Off he goes. And of course these highly protected spangled emperors with their cheeky little smiles. Wait till I see them in open water. And then about 400 kilometres offshore is Ayers Rock, where we swim out to. Every time we go there, unfortunately, it looked a little bit dead this year. Not many fish. One thing I did notice this year, the tides were really high and lots of weed coming up on the boat ramp. But it was an opportune time, so why not go out on a charter boat, get mahi on board and do like 40 miles out to sea. You know, we didn't catch one shark because we were in 140 metres of water. Believe it or not, this was the catch, shared between 7 of us. Plenty of fillets there, right? You know, what do you think, Dee?
Oh, really? Oh. Do we need some more? We need more, don't we, Deb?
More what?
Fish.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you can get a bit there.
Mind your head, mind your arm, bro.
Yeah, mate.
Sizzling.
Yours is sizzling nicely, mate.
Deb might be rumpling in compared to me.
Definitely.
Yeah, the oil might not even just got up. Hey?
I thought you were going to. That's why I held off for you guys.
Oh, I did.
Have
See
you had-
how we go? What do you want, Phil? A couple of there?
Yeah, 2 of those. Okay.
Mate.
Mate,
Mate.
he's off the edge. Into the little puddles that are there.
Any more you want to ring? So, we're going. Let's get it on the phone.
There's a big burley stick. I haven't started this one yet. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
a yes,
you,
Ruth.
alright. Thank you.
And after the sardine factory of Coral Bay, this beautiful spot, about 230 kilometres north of Coral Bay, we get to Osprey Bay, one of our favourite snorkelling spots. It's run by our government, and what a beautiful camp. All the campsites are big, they're all separated, everyone's got a nice amount of room, really friendly people. The only amenities there are beautiful drop toilets, no water, no power. What could be better than this? No Wi-Fi, but the snorkelling is amazing. The fishing is just as amazing. You are allowed to fish off the beach, but not off a boat or canoe or anything else that floats for that matter. and the Osprey Bay frisk or battleships or knock 'em downs or whatever they're called. This championship had to be played there, of course. I think one of the ladies won it this year. You can see the ground on where everything is set up, how beautiful and clean it is.
Doesn't take much on the electronics. You know, just need a little wire to move.
Yes, Yardy Creek, such an interesting little place. Just the walk along the escarpment there. You see this here from the air. I suppose the birds think this is a big snake, so they leave it alone. But it's just head to tail, and there's hundreds of the little buggers as well. Quite an interesting thing to see, really. And there's lots of these black-footed rock wallabies. Just sitting there. They're always very still, you'll notice. Just silhouetted against the sky sometimes. Lazy buggers. It was good to get the little canoe out, paddle down Yardy Creek. You get a slightly different perspective on the water. You see a lot of things living by the cliff. You can check out some birds and just some nesting along the side of the river. Brilliant. Yeah. So back at Osprey Bay now, get the canoe out. About 1.5 kilometres offshore, there's a couple of buoys you can tie up to and go for a snorkel. A bit scary out there though. I think it's a bit too deep for me to be comfortable. It's right on the edge of the reef. I think we both like following these little fellows around better. Always interesting. Not scared of any humans. There's a beautiful family. The caretaker said there was 13 or 14 just live there. They don't care who looks at them. Try not to touch them, but they come so close to you sometimes. Oyster Stacks. I think my favourite snorkeling spot. There's so much oxygen in the water. I can breathe underwater here. Or so it seems. Port Samson is 680 kilometres north of Osprey Bay. But we stopped at Nanyatara for one night just to break it up. Easy. Point Samson. Shipping rocks to that place. China. And lots of them. Yeah, spending a day at Cossack, very historical town. Very nice and beautiful buildings there as well. There's a nice cemetery there, and a lot of Japanese lived around Cossack. And of course a lot of them died there as well. They've got their own cemetery. It's all in the Japan language, so I couldn't understand it. Yeah, just a lazy 370 kilometres north of Port Samson is Cape Keraudren. It used to be unsealed, so it was quite dusty and heavily corrugated, but believe it or not, they've sealed the 13 kilometres into the place, so very, very popular now. And people from, of course, Port Samson and beyond come there, and I couldn't believe how busy it was this time we went up there. Nice place to camp though. Unfortunately the beaches are quite rough, no good for swimming. I believe the fishing's very good. You need a little tinny though, really, which was a bit unfortunate. Nice little stopover though. I'll do this one again. And another 475 kilometres, and we arrive in Broome for a month. So I did a bit of travelling. I will try and get another video together, show you what we did in Broome. Happy days.